Bill told me I was coming to look at a rat rod. I didn't know how ratty it was gonna be.
1915 Model T taxi.
Older than you, Grandpa? A little bit, not much.
The episode kicks off with music history drama. Someone walks in holding a 78 RPM record by the Five Sharps, Stormy Weather. Rick's eyes widen because this is considered the holy grail of doo-wop records. The seller drops a $25,000 asking price, and I nearly fall out of my chair. Rare, cracked, and tied to raccoon legends? This already feels more dramatic than a soap opera. Cue the suspenseful soundtrack.
We have Five Sharps, Stormy Weather.
Cool.
This is the holy grail of doo-wops.
Bill told me I was coming to look at a rat rod.
The seller explains his dad re-released the track in the 1970s because collectors were desperate to hear it. The record itself has a visible crack, but he swears it's the very same copy that collectors whisper about. Rick calls in Warwick, the record guru. When experts walk in, you know jaws are about to drop. Or records. Drama overload incoming.
Probably one of the rarest records in the world.
Okay.
Five Sharps, Stormy Weather.
The Five Sharps. I have never heard of them.
Warwick confirms it's legit, but here's the kicker. He calls the song itself terrible. Imagine owning a grail everyone agrees sounds like nails on a chalkboard. He values it between $3,000 and $4,000, not $25,000. The seller frowns, Rick shrugs, and I'm cackling. The record's fame comes from rarity and raccoon gossip, not the actual tune. Things got rocky quickly.
Are you looking to sell it?
Yes, I am.
How much are you looking to get out of it?
25,000.
It must be really special then. Okay.
It is very special. As anyone who's a collector that wanted to hear this record.
Rick offers $1,000. The seller says he's had offers 4 times higher and decides to walk. No deal. That crack in the record? It's not just vinyl, it's his dream shattering too. My reaction? Heartbreaking stuff. Imagine walking in with visions of $25,000 and walking out with nothing but a cracked circle of sadness.
I would give you $1,000 for it.
It's funny you should say that, though, because I've already gotten offers 4 times the amount he offered.
Good luck with it. And also remember,
Switching gears, a rat rod rolls up, literally made of buckets, license plates, and beer kegs. Chum looks like he just caught tetanus from standing near it. The seller asks $17,500, and I spit out my drink. This thing looks like Mad Max meets recycling day. Cory hops in for a test drive, praying a wheel doesn't fall off mid-spin. Talk about messy.
buddy Sean headed out to Utah to check out Civil War era Gatling gun. These guns are the holy grail for collectors. So we're really hoping we're not too late and it hasn't been put in an auction.
Okay, general store.
There's holsters. I imagine guns are close by.
Surprisingly, the rat rod drives decently. Cory admits it handles better than expected, but the price still makes him twitch. He offers $11,000. The seller demands $15,000, and they settle at $13,000. Both smile, but I'm still laughing. Paying 13 grand for a car made out of trash cans? Only on Pawn Stars. Cue the drum roll.
Refresh my memory, man. What were we asking for this thing?
17.5.
I can't give you 17.5 for it, my man. It's just, it's not there to me. It's definitely cool, and I totally get the rat rod thing, and I get it's supposed to look like this. I'm not even.
Now for a blast of wrestling nostalgia. A WWE Hall of Fame ring belonging to Paul Bearer, The Undertaker's manager. The seller wants $22,000. Rick explains WWE rings aren't like Super Bowl rings. They're more sports entertainment than sports. He offers $4,000. Seller's face says it all. Rejection City. He storms out, muttering about body slams. Drama at its finest, folks.
What do you got there?
Hall of Fame WWE ring. It was issued to Paul Bearer.
WWE, the sort of wrestling.
Rick shrugs it off, joking about what his own wrestling name would be. Cory suggests the Bald Loser. Chum suggests Nacho Daddy. I nearly choke laughing. This side banter might be funnier than the deals themselves. Who knew wrestling names could be more brutal than a chair shot to the head?
This was Paul Bearer, the manager of,
The Undertaker?
The Undertaker.
Yeah.
If I was a wrestler, I'd be like the Bald Bruiser.
Maybe you should rename it to the Bald Loser.
Then comes Money Royalty, a Martha Washington $1 silver certificate from 1891. The seller found it tucked in a book at a foreclosed house. He asks $1,500. Rick points out it could grade as high as $10,000 or more. The seller's jaw drops, mine does too. This isn't just money, it's paper gold. Cue dramatic pause.
I was kind of cleaning out a bunch of junk in there and came across the book in a closet, kind of stuff in the back corner, and boom, that's what I came across.
Rick calls in Peter, the paper currency expert. Peter gushes over the condition, says it's near flawless, then dashes hopes by pointing out a faint centerfold. Value? $1,500 retail. The seller's face sinks faster than my bank balance on payday. You could cut this tension with a letter opener.
A guy came in with a $1 bill from 1891. It's a silver certificate, and it's got Martha Washington's face on the front of it. Grading paper money is a really, really tricky business.
Negotiation time. Rick offers $800. Seller wants $1,400, and they meet at $1,100. The seller's happy. He literally found it in a book. And Rick's thrilled. That's flipping pages into profit. I'm cheering like it's a touchdown. Drama overload.
Say, man.
He said $1,500 was a fair retail value, okay? And I have to make a living. So I'll give you $800.
800 bucks. Oh, man, you're killing me.
She just got offered $800 for a $1 bill.
The episode ends on a hilarious note with the guys pitching wrestling names. Rick's stuck with Bald Bruiser, Cory's mocked as IPO, and Chum proudly declares Nacho Daddy, I can't breathe. From Holy Grail records to trash can rat rods to Martha Washington cash, this episode delivered chaos and comedy.
What does that even mean?
That's not intimidating at all.
That's not an intimidating name.
Okay, what about Nacho Daddy?
Really?
And I'd have a bunch of kids chasing me out to the ring.
The episode kicks off with Chumlee moving slower than molasses. The old man mocks him with Navy-style insults before grumbling about cracking Fort Knox. Then he drops the iconic line, "At my shop, family comes first, money comes second, depending on who you ask." Just as I'm settling in, a guy pulls up with something massive and creepy, an actual iron lung. Forget Fort Knox, we're breaking into vintage medical nightmares.
Chumlee, you're slower than a hungover mess cook.
I'm not.
I swear to I ain't never seen nobody move that slow.
The seller explains this iron lung once saved polio patients in the 1930s. Rick peers inside, marveling and cringing at the same time. It's missing glass, upholstery, and any comfort whatsoever. Seller wants $100,000. Rick nearly falls over. Scrap metal and a teaching tool don't equal six figures. Rick politely passes, suggesting restoration instead. The seller shrugs, probably already dreaming of eBay bidders with bizarre taste. Drama overload.
An iron lung. What I do know is that it is a very important historical medical device and it's worth something.
Then the old man hatches a prank. Send Chumlee on fool's errands. The list? A left-handed coffee cup, bucket of steam, stripe paint, and a glass hammer. Chum stares like it's real, muttering, "All right, I'll be back." I'm on the floor. Only Pawn Stars can turn hardware store trolling into TV gold. Chum's not just the tool in the shed. He's the one looking for tools that don't exist.
Bucket of steam, can of strip paint,
It's stripe paint. I couldn't spell it.
and a glass hammer.
Yeah.
So fool's errands.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a seller struts in with what he calls out of this world, a NASA space shuttle toilet seat. Yes, a foam-padded, zero-gravity butt rest. He wants $400. Rick's skeptical but intrigued. Cue fart jokes and space puns galore. He calls in aerospace expert Mark. If anyone can confirm space porcelain royalty, it's museum nerds. I can't believe I'm this invested in intergalactic bathroom hardware.
I'm gonna ask $400 for the toilet seat, and the least I'm willing to take for it is $100. I think it would be really tough to use the bathroom in outer space.
Mark inspects it, confirming it's authentic but never actually flown in space. Apparently, astronauts had their butts measured for these. Yes, that's a thing. Value? Collectors will pay, but it's not rocket fuel money. Rick negotiates to $300 and the seller takes it. History is made. Rick just bought a used toilet seat for more than most of us spend on couches. Heartbreaking stuff for dignity.
A toilet was a huge step forward. So what's your concerns on this?
I want to know, was it made for the shuttle, or is it like a prototype, or?
Well, the ones that flew had a titanium insert.
Cut to Chumlee hunting down left-handed mugs and buckets of steam. He convinces a store clerk to fill a bucket with dry ice vapor. Watching Chum proudly haul steam back to the shop is like watching Wile E. Coyote finally get the Roadrunner. The old man cackles. Mission accomplished. Cory shakes his head, and I'm still laughing at how easy Chum makes prank TV. Talk about messy.
You own it.
All right, right up the seat.
Come with me, man.
I'm very happy with that, and I probably sold the toilet seat for more than a single toilet seat's ever sold.
Next, a woman arrives with a signed copy of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. She claims Hunter S. Thompson himself gifted it to her during a weekend in Phoenix. Rick nearly faints. It's gonzo journalism gold. The seller wants $800. Rick doesn't know the value, but calls Rebecca, the book expert. My popcorn's ready. When experts enter, dreams get built or burned. Cue the drum roll.
I don't know that had I read the book ahead of time, I would have agreed to go and help him that weekend.
Tell me about the weekend with Hunter S. Thompson. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Rebecca inspects the paperback. The book itself? Worth $5, but Hunter's long, bizarre inscription and initials? Authentic and rare. She values it $400 to $500. Seller swallows disappointment. Rick hides a grin, and I scream at the TV, that's still legendary. From Vegas drugs to Vegas pawn shops, Hunter would have loved this moment. Things got rocky quickly for her $800 dream.
Earlier, a woman brought in a copy of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas signed by Hunter S. Thompson. It's an amazing item, but I really don't know what to offer her, so I called in Rebecca to come help out.
Negotiation time. Rick starts at $250, seller fires back at $375, Rick crawls to $300, and they meet at $350. Seller beams, Rick celebrates, and I'm clapping. That's flipping paranoia into payday. Hunter's ghost is probably smirking with a cigarette holder in hand. Drama at its finest, folks.
$375.
I gotta make more than $25 off the deal. I'll go $300.
It's kind of low. He did sign it personally. How about $50?
Back to the prank subplot. Chum finally delivers a left-handed mug labeled on the bottom. The old man pretends to sip smugly while Chum gloats. Cory mutters, "You did this to yourself." Chum wins a moral victory. The old man chuckles, and the shop goes back to chaos. From iron lungs to space toilets to Hunter Thompson's scribbles, this episode was one wild ride.
This is just a regular coffee cup.
No, that's left-handed. It says on the bottom of it, look.
And you filled it too full. I want to get you, Chumlee.
You did this to yourself.
The episode fires up faster than a musket. Rick and Sean head out to Utah chasing whispers of a Civil War Gatling gun. But before the heavy artillery, back at the shop, a seller drives in with a 1915 Ford Model T taxi. Rick and Cory circle it like sharks. Suicide doors? Nope. Taxi vibes? Absolutely. Seller's proud, asking $29,900. My popcorn's ready. Can Cory haggle, or will this be a crash course in Model T economics?
We heard you might have some cool guns here for sale.
Absolutely. That's the Civil War Sharps Carbine. We heard that there might be a Gatling gun available.
The seller explains he spent 4 years restoring it, turning a pile of parts into a rolling time machine. Frames original, everything else updated to make it street legal. Cory's impressed but unsure on value. Enter Danny Coker, the car whisperer. He hops in, drives it like a champ, and calls it gorgeous. Value's near asking, but market's soft. Translation, safe but risky. Cory braces for negotiations.
Here I got a call from my buddy Sean Rich about an 1800s Gatling gun coming on the market. These are beyond rare, and hopefully we can check it out before it goes to auction.
Cory makes his move, offers $20,000. Seller winces, saying he can't go below $25,000. Cory bumps to $21,000. Seller sighs, reluctantly takes it. No high fives here, just bittersweet relief. He put his soul into that car but walks away with 21 grand. Cory looks smug, seller looks crushed, and I'm screaming, somebody call Uber.
I take it
Go right ahead.
Are you sure?
My pleasure, yeah.
Personally, I feel totally cool in it. How you doing, sir? I'm really impressed with the way this thing handles.
Meanwhile, Rick and Sean in Utah are drooling over Civil War collectibles. First stop, an 1863 Sharps Carbine. Seller wants $2,500, bragging about how it turned Gettysburg into a shooting gallery. Rick geeks out over its falling block design, calling it the assault rifle of its day. He's practically bouncing like a kid in a candy store with live ammo. Drama overload already.
Guns of all kind. We especially like the old guns.
You got a lot of cool guns here.
Rick, check it out. Can we have a look at the Sharp? Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's the 1863 Sharps Carbine.
They test fire the Sharps at exploding targets. Boom! Smoke everywhere, Confederate keg obliterated. Rick grins ear to ear, shouting about accuracy and rapid fire. Sean nods like a proud dad. I'm clapping like a maniac. This isn't just history, it's live action History Channel. Sharps Carbine? Certified badass. Cue the slow motion applause.
Okay, I can't wait anymore. What are we shooting?
Okay, this is this is a surprise. It's an exploding target.
Okay.
Set it up downrange about 100 yards.
Negotiations get tense. Seller wants $2,500. Rick offers $1,500. Seller refuses. Rick inches to $1,800, then $1,900. Finally, they shake at $1,900. Seller holds firm dignity, Rick beams, and I'm yelling, victory at last. That's how you buy Civil War hardware without starting another battle. Things got rocky quickly, but ended with handshakes.
Solid gun, good rifling. You shot it, you know it shoots good.
Good rifling, solid gun, but $1,500 I think is all the money on the sharps.
Back at the shop, comedy enters, a vintage Charlie Weaver bartender toy. Seller demos it, shakes a martini, drinks, face turns red, smoke shoots from ears. It's like watching Chumlee at happy hour. Seller asks $300. The old man smirks, offers $75. Seller wants $125. They settle at $90. Old man chuckles, saying he plays with money now. Talk about pouring a stiff drink of nostalgia.
I've seen these before.
Let's do a shot.
I came down to the pawn shop today to sell my Charlie Weaver vintage toy.
Now for the main course, the Gatling gun. The seller unveils an 1883 Colt Gatling in pristine condition, mounted and ready. Rick gasps. Sean looks like he's seen God. Seller asks $335,000, citing a past auction. Rick counters at $200,000. Seller refuses. Rick pushes $220,000. Seller stands firm. My jaw's on the floor. This isn't haggling. It's a financial firefight.
Tell me what you know about this. Well, Dr. Gatling invented these guns right at the beginning of the Civil War, and his vision was that this was going to be the gun that would end all wars.
Then comes the once-in-a-lifetime moment. They actually get to fire the Gatling. Rick cranks, Sean giggles, water jugs explode like balloons at a BB gun range. 50 rounds in seconds. Rick's shaking with adrenaline, declaring it the Holy Grail. I'm screaming at my TV. This is insane. Drama overload doesn't even cover it.
Like the Gatling gun we're about to shoot.
Now this is the Holy Grail.
Amazing.
Once this thing was cranking, anything in its path was going down.
Which one of you guys wants to fire this baby?
Me.
Back to negotiations. Seller insists $335,000. Rick won't budge past $220,000. The deal dies, but honestly, who cares? Rick got to fire the king of machine guns. Sometimes the thrill beats the deal. He leaves empty-handed but glowing. I'm half expecting him to mount a water jug in the shop as a trophy. Heartbreaking stuff, but epic.
It's a piece of history, and I got to hold tight on that. It's got to be $335,000. I have the Gatling gun on a very high pedestal. It may be the ultimate gun.
The episode kicks off with sitcom gold. A seller struts in holding the signed finale script of Seinfeld. Yes, the show about nothing is now about possibly something money. Rick's eyes pop when he hears the cast all signed it. Seller wants $5,000. Cue the laugh track because Rick's already suspicious. A finale most fans hated might turn into a payday everyone loves. Or not. Drama overload, folks.
On this episode of Pawn Stars.
What we got here is a chair.
One of the most famous chairs you'll ever see. Abraham Lincoln sat on it while he was in the White House.
That is pretty damn cool.
The seller explains he got it from a friend at Castle Rock, framed it up, and now wants wall space back. Rick jokes about the finale being the worst episode, but still legendary TV. Before making a move, Rick calls in Steve, the autograph expert. Cue the drum roll. These evaluations are either dreams or nightmares, and I'm biting my nails harder than George at a soup kitchen.
My knowledge, this was only given out to friends of the show and people that work for the production company. It was the table read script signed by the entire cast. You know, yada, yada, yada.
Steve inspects signatures. Jerry's neat, Jason's sloppy, Julia's abbreviated, Michael's angled. Everything matches perfectly. He confirms it's real. Seller beams, but then Steve crushes the mood. Value's only around $1,000. My jaw drops. Seller's jaw locks. Rick smirks. This is like Kramer sliding into Jerry's apartment. Chaos every time. Things got rocky quickly.
It's typically pretty nice every letter, especially from this era. Very similar signature. Every single letter of his name spelled out. I see the same thing here. Let's take a look at Jason Alexander. Jason had the sloppiest signature.
Negotiation time. Rick offers $700. Seller demands $3,000. They're galaxies apart. Rick won't budge. Seller storms out with script in hand, muttering, yada, yada, yada. No deal. My reaction? Heartbreaking stuff. Imagine walking in thinking you've got the holy grail of sitcoms, leaving with nothing but disappointment and a heavy shadow box.
You know, I'd give you $700. I think it'll sell quick, but I mean, that's the most I'm gonna go.
Yeah, no, I've got, you know, one, too much attachment to it, and two, I mean, best I would do would be $3,000. I mean, I can't go any lower than that.
We're so far out of the ballpark.
Next, fire buckets from the 1700s and 1800s arrive. Yes, literal buckets to fight fires. Seller wants $5,000. Rick geeks out about how every townsperson had to serve in fire brigades back in the day. Buckets are rare, especially in pairs. Seller beams about Maine provenance. Me? I'm just picturing Chumlee trying to put out flames with a plastic mop bucket. Talk about messy.
Hey, how's it going? Good. Fire buckets?
Fire buckets. These are like late 1700s to late 1800s.
Where did you get these?
Oh, I've been collecting. They all came out of Maine.
Okay.
These are some of my favorite ones, but I've got a kid in college and I figure I'm gonna have to let some of the collection go.
Rick makes an offer, $3,500. Seller pushes for $4,000. They go back and forth until landing at $3,800. Seller sighs, but accepts. Rick beams and I'm yelling, buckets of cash. It's not a fire sale, but it's close. The seller leaves lighter, Rick's wallet heavier, and those buckets look ready for a quirky shop display.
Can I give you $3,500 for them? Really thinking that when I sell them, I'm gonna get $2 grand for the pair and maybe $3 grand for this?
I'll go 4, and that's including that. That's a gift.
Okay.
Cut to nostalgia gaming, a Donkey Kong arcade cabinet. Seller's horror room decor includes Ouija boards and pig carcasses, but somehow Donkey Kong doesn't fit. He wants $2,500. Cory and Chum tested, and Cory admits he didn't even know Mario was once called Jumpman. I'm facepalming. These two handling Nintendo trivia is like watching clowns juggle knives.
Weird media room, and this is Donkey Kong, but as you can see, it doesn't really fit the motif of the room.
No, not at all.
We're clowns. We got a dead pig carcass on the ground. We got Ouija boards.
Nick the expert checks it out. Original board, monitor, joystick. Value, $600 to $800 max. Seller's crushed. Cory offers $300, stretches to $400. Seller refuses, saying it's too cool to sell that low. No deal. The Donkey Kong stays in the haunted arcade room. My reaction? Heartbreaking stuff, but also hilarious.
This is an original Donkey Kong cabinet.
Nice.
What's it worth retail? Okay, because it's original, the board's original, it's got original monitor and original joystick, and they are sought after in original condition, somewhere between $600 to $800.
Now for presidential flair, a chair allegedly from Abraham Lincoln's White House. Seller swears Honest Abe himself sat in it. He wants $2,000. Flashes letters from the White House and clippings about Robert Todd Lincoln donating them. Rick's intrigued but skeptical. I'm screaming, somebody grab the Smithsonian! This is drama on legs, literally.
Hey, what do we got here? Well, obviously what we got here is a chair.
It's a chair, one of the most famous chairs you'll ever see.
Oh, really?
Abraham Lincoln sat on it while he was in the White House.
Okay, well, I'm sure he sat in a lot of chairs.
Rick calls in Mark, museum expert extraordinaire. He compares it to photos, points out mismatched decorative details, and concludes there's no proof Lincoln ever used it. Seller's face sinks. Rick explains without solid provenance, he can't buy it. No offer, no deal. The seller leaves deflated. Heartbreaking stuff. Abe's ghost probably facepalmed.
Greater than nearly any other president we ever had. So, do you have any paperwork that goes along with this?
Yes, have this over here.
Okay. That's a well-known photograph. This is one of Matthew Brady's photographs of Lincoln. It shows this decorative element right here on the side.
The episode closes with comic relief. Cory tossing junk in the pricey fire bucket. Rick yells, "That's a $1,200 bucket!" Cory shrugs, calling it a junk drawer replacement. The old man would have loved this chaos. From Seinfeld to Donkey Kong to Lincoln's maybe chair, this episode proved one thing: no pawn for you.
It's like a $1,200 fire bucket. Why are you throwing trash in it?
It's the junk bucket for the moment.
The junk bucket.
Sure, like a junk drawer?
Junk drawers should never exist. They're for stuff that doesn't have a home.
The episode kicks off with pure horsepower, literally. A seller rolls in with the chassis of a Shelby Cobra, claiming it's the holy grail of kit cars. Rick's eyes widen, old man whistles, and I'm already picturing Vin Diesel growling, "Family." The seller wants $35,000. Cue the dramatic music because Rick isn't buying dreams. He's buying steel. Can this pile of pipes turn into profit, or is it just an overpriced jungle gym with a muscle car fantasy attached?
On this episode of Pawn Stars.
If this is a real Shelby Cobra, this guy struck gold.
Not only did I get it for nothing, but I got paid to move it.
How long has it been in your family?
Probably over 150 years.
The seller insists it's authentic enough to build into a showstopper. Rick points out missing paperwork, mismatched numbers, and the mountain of work ahead. Old man calls William, the car guy, to weigh in. Danny inspects, praises the chassis, but warns about the expensive build and long timeline. Value? Maybe $25,000 tops. Rick smirks, seller sweats, and I'm screaming, Fast and Furious budget, Pawn Stars edition. Things got rocky quickly in this high-octane standoff.
Where's the rest of it?
Yeah, I thought it was a whole car.
No, it's a half a car. Coming to the pawn shop today to try and sell my authentic 1965 Shelby Cobra.
Negotiations kick off. Rick offers $20,000. Seller pushes for $30,000. Back and forth they go, tension thick as exhaust smoke, until landing at $21,000. Seller sighs, Rick beams, and I'm yelling, "Somebody cue the burnout already!" The Cobra dream lives on, but Rick's bank account just took a nitrous hit. Talk about messy. This deal felt more like drag racing than haggling, and everyone walked away smelling like gas money.
Is the body alone on a Shelby Cobra be worth a ton of money?
Is it real or what?
I've done some research on it. Real Shelby Cobras have an aluminum body. This is aluminum. Most of the replicas are fiberglass.
They do make replica aluminum ones.
They do.
Next up, maritime magic. A seller brings in a 19th century ship's chronometer. Looks like a fancy pocket watch in a wooden box, but it once kept sailors from crashing into rocks. Seller wants $2,000. The old man geeks out, explaining longitude navigation like a salty professor who's secretly thrilled. Rick nods, intrigued, while I'm over here wondering if Chumlee thinks it's a jewelry box for pirates. Cue the drum roll for a ticking piece of history.
You have no idea what you got here, do you?
No. I got the Glock from my grandfather, who's a big-time clock enthusiast. Just something that I don't think I could do anything with, but I'm not going to tell my grandfather, hey, listen, I don't want it. And I thought maybe I could make some money on it.
Expert Bob arrives, checking the mechanism with precision. He confirms it's mid-1800s, still ticks beautifully, and collectors would drool over its craftsmanship. Value? Around $1,500 in the right market. Seller swallows disappointment, realizing this won't fund a yacht. Rick offers $1,000. Seller wants $1,500, and they compromise at $1,500, $1,200. Rick smiles, seller leaves happy enough, and I'm clapping like a seal at sea. That's Pawn Stars Navigation. Profit course corrected without crashing into rocks.
Pay a lot to get it running. I'd be lucky to break even.
You don't see these a lot.
Okay.
I guarantee you rarely see these.
Like I said, if it worked, it would be great.
I'm just thinking the quality of the case and everything.
Enter the jaws. A seller walks in with fossilized megalodon shark teeth. These aren't just teeth. They're prehistoric steak knives that once shredded whales. Seller wants $500 for the set. Rick jokes they're bigger than Chum's appetite, and honestly, he's not wrong. Cory looks skeptical, muttering about fakes, while Rick decides to take a chance. Cue my inner Jaws theme music as Vegas braces for a bite of prehistoric drama.
Mom picked this up for me, and ever since then I've been collecting them. I pick them up whenever I go to a gift shop or travel anywhere and I find one. I probably got about $1,000 or more in them.
Rick offers $200, seller pushes for $400, and they meet at $300. Seller grins, Rick pockets fossils, and I'm giggling imagining Chumlee trying to floss with one. Prehistoric dentistry at its finest, folks. Drama overload for a handful of giant teeth that could double as steak knives. The seller leaves thrilled. Rick chalks up another oddball win, and I'm left humming that two-note Jaws theme while smirking at my screen.
Unique, because in a way they're functional pieces of art. Ooh, a little beauty.
Yeah, chronometer.
Ship's chronometers are unique because they have to adhere to a time standard.
Next, a colorful twist, a quad-line stunt kite. Seller struts in, showing how it can fly loops, spins, and dives. Cory looks like a kid at recess. Chumlee's grinning like it's Christmas, and Rick looks like he's calculating insurance premiums for their chaos. Seller wants $1,000. Cory and Chum race outside to test it, lines in hand, already destined for disaster. Cue chaos in the parking lot, and I'm howling before they even launch.
Oh yes, secured, corked with two little wedges, which are supposed to be locking the balance in place.
The kite soars briefly, then nosedives like a kamikaze pigeon. Cory tangles lines, Chum nearly face plants, and the seller winces at his demo. I'm crying laughing. It's slapstick gold. Seller insists it's top tier. Rick offers $300, seller refuses, holding firm at $800. No deal. Kite flies off. Dignity slightly deflated, and the parking lot returns to normal. Heartbreaking stuff for the seller, but comedy gold for us viewers.
Making a few phone calls, I was able to get a hold of the dealer here in Vegas.
I'm the president and owner of Nevada Classics and Shelby Cars Northwest.
Back to the Cobra. Rick drops it off with Danny for restoration. Danny grins, promising a beastly rebuild with chrome, horsepower, and attitude. Months later, the car's back. Gleaming paint, roaring engine, showroom ready to pounce. Rick's eyes sparkle like diamonds. Cory mutters about costs, and the old man scowls at the bill. Rick doesn't care. This Cobra is his new baby. Cue the emotional car commercial vibes with rock guitar.
Win. The thing about the quad control kite is that you have control on all four corners of the kite. You can fly the kite backwards, forwards, you can move it left and right, anything you wanted to do. Subsequently, if you're into doing tricks, you could do that.
Time for the test drive. Rick slides in, fires it up, and floors it down the Vegas Strip. Engine growls, tires squeal, and Rick's grinning like a teenager with his first ride. Cory clings for dear life, begging him to slow down. This isn't just a car, it's pure adrenaline on wheels. I'm screaming, Pawn Stars, Tokyo Drift. Drama at its finest, folks. Las Vegas streets never looked so fast or furious.
You're not allowed within 10 feet of this damn car.
But I do everything first.
No, you don't.
I'll drive it.
No. Get out of the way. The thing I love about a race car is...
The episode closes with the old man growling about spending $80,000 on a $40,000 car. Rick shrugs, Cory smirks, and Chum suggests racing for pink slips like it's Fast and Furious. Pawn shop drift. From shark teeth to cobras, chronometers to kites, this episode was one wild ride. No outro needed. The burnout said it all, and the Pawn Stars left tire marks of pure entertainment.
Looks pretty fast out there. Would you get all the way up to 30 or something?
You didn't even go fast enough to mess up your hair.
Ricky, at least I've got hair.
I could hear Carol Shelby crying from here about this ride.